Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Only Leeds Bros. Hope everybody is keeping and doing well. My name is Darren, and we're joined by the brother Dylan. And together, this is Leeds Latest, where we bring you all the latest Leeds United news, talking points around Elland Road, and give you a chance to discuss them. Before we do get into the video, I do want to say thanks very much to our channel sponsors, MatchBingo, for sponsoring Only Leeds Bros. To get involved, all you have to do is scan the QR code down the bottom right hand corner of your screen to get involved. One line, two lines, or a full house will see you win a cash prize, and you can do it for any. It doesn't have to be a Leeds match. You can do it for all the international games, Club World Cup, and coming up and stuff like that. So again, thanks very much to the lads over in Match Bingo for supporting the channel. It really, really means the world to us. And then just gonna plug the Creator Cup as well. You're probably absolutely sick of us and every other Leeds United content creator plugging this. So the Leeds Creator Cup takes place on the 20th of July in the John Charles Community Stadium. All your favourite Leeds United content creators will be there. We take to the field in aid of Prostate Cancer UK to raise some well needed funds. Tickets are only £7 for adults and £3 for kids, and also the link is in the description below. If you're not going to the game and you do want to donate, there is a donate button there as well. No matter how small it is, it means the world to us, and hopefully we can make this a success and then make it a yearly thing. Dillo, what is happening?
Lads, I don't know what about you, but the weather over here is absolutely atrocious. Like, I mean atrocious. It was grand all day, and then I went to put the bins out, and all of a sudden, then the place is just pouring. And I mean pouring. So, I got a little bit wet.
Lashing
Wasn't very happy about it, and that was like back inside. Put the comfy socks on, and then we're ready to rock and roll.
Love it, absolutely love it. Well, say hello to a couple in the chat then, good few people in the building. Please don't forget to smash the like, lads, while you're here. Really helps us out. Quirky says linked to Sargent. I seen that just before we came on stream again. I don't know how credible the links are. I try to do a little bit of digging. Doesn't seem to be at incredible behind it. Again, it feels like a lazy link at the minute. And then we'll obviously get into the two that we were linked with today, and we'll kind of talk around the logistics of that one. Danny Talksport is here. He says smash a like and subscribe. Please do so, lads. We're only 28 subscribers off the 3k mark, so it would be great to get there. So if you are enjoying the channel and our new show that's put out, if you haven't seen it, The Whites Wake Up, went down a success with you guys, please smash a like on the video and hit subscribe. Wales getting hammered. What scores it, Danny? I actually haven't seen any football at all. I completely forgot there was internationals on tonight. I was too busy trying to get ready for this stream. Emma Clark is in the building. She says evening Emma, thanks for popping in. And Stephen Bourne, as always, all right, lads, good evening, buddy. Hope you're having a brew and chilling out and watching us waffle on. What's up, lads? Looking forward to Leeds versus AC Milan. Me too, buddy. Cannot come quick enough. Can't wait. Just real football to come back, Dylan, isn't it?
Just watch Leeds again.
Hi, lads, love the new intro. Yeah, it's just a little jingle that
gets fella never scores the goal, does he? Just never scores that goal.
Never gets there.
Like me.
Eddie, Daddy said, Darren and Minion, good evening. Minions and Opinions is back again tonight. Rusty Tin Can, Eddie says, evening, lads, good evening. Eddie, hope you're keeping well, pal. Logia's in the building. Sid is here. Carl, Danny, Amy, Stephen, you're all here. So again, thanks very much for popping in. So Dylan, I think we'll dive headfirst into, because we have a good bit to get into it in this video, a good bit of talking points. We want to get the chat involved, so please let us know your thoughts on this one, guys. Habib Diarra, Dylan. Eventually, it came out links with Leeds United today that we've bidded for Habib Diarra in around the region of £26 million. Senegalese international, 21 years of age, plays for Strasbourg. Said that he's a box-to-box midfielder. I watched him a little bit the other night against Ireland, but because the link only came up tonight, I'm raging. I didn't watch him a little bit more closely. What have you thought of this when you've done a little bit of digging into him today?
Yeah, no, I had a little look. I seen the link coming up on Twitter, X, earlier on, you know, and it seemed a bit more concrete than other sources, as you would say, or other players that we've been linked with since then. But yeah, look, young enough. Seems like, as you said, they're a box-to-box midfielder. I did take a little thing from one of the things I was seeing on Twitter. So obviously he's 21-year-old. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He was strong in and out of possession, and he progresses the ball with a tricky transition. So it's maybe something that we are looking for, similar to what I see, probably what Tanaka is kind of like. So maybe it could be an opportunity if Tanaka going up higher up the pitch, because clearly Ampadu.
Well, we spoke about this one, Dylan, didn't we? A couple of weeks ago, we spoke about the need to get a midfielder in there with Tanaka. we've obviously seen with Ampadu, and I think we all agree, and let us know your thoughts in the chat. As always, guys, with Ampadu, it feels like for me now his best position is in centre half. For me, that's where he's had his best games for Leeds United. When he's been in the midfield, I think I've seen enough of him to say that he kind of slows the game down a little bit too much for me.
Too much,
Where,
way too much.
where he's in that centre half position, you have Rodon kind of there beside him, trying to tell him to move it and stuff like that. So I think I'd rather see Ampadu back there in centre half, but then you obviously have that issue then, well, and what happens with Pascal Strike then as well. And we're in talks with Jaka Bijol as well, and we'll get on to him after we're finished speaking about Diarra. But that was an interesting one for me. I thought we needed another midfielder in there with him. He's only 21 years of age. Looks like he's bags of potential. Energetic player. Watched a couple of clips of him today. I said watched him a little bit for the other night of Ireland, but not closely. I should have watched him a little bit more if the links had been out then. But I think this is one that excites me, Dylan. One that I look at that came out of nowhere. Again, we've spoke here on Only Leeds Bros, and every other Leeds United content creator spoke about we've been linked with this player and that player, and he's coming to Leeds and X, Y, and Z, and this one has just came out absolutely nowhere today. And then all of a sudden, then Graham Smith and Joe Donoghue then from the YEP have said Leeds United have actually made a bid. So again, we speak about the 49ers working in silence, and they've done it again, Dylan, haven't they? This one's just came straight out of the woodwork, and what we're told a fee or a bid has been submitted.
Yeah, we all know the 49ers fly under the radar. I love it when people start posting pictures of flights coming in and out of Leeds and what players are linked. I get really excited about that. I think it's brilliant, to be fair, because it just shows every Leeds fan is so passionate. I'm wondering who's coming in and out of the club. But yeah, look, it didn't kind of surprise me to a certain degree because, as I said, they do fly under the radar. But yet again, me personally, I'm not the type of person to believe anything until I can see the signed contract.
There's a long way to go on this, Dylan. It's just a fee. It's just a bid submitted, isn't it? There's a long way before this is finalised.
Look, I think, they always say a lot of noise is good noise. So there's obviously interest from every player that we could say linked to it. So that's the main thing. And Leeds are in the Premier League now. We're going to be fighting for serious places. We're going to be fighting for survival. And then like that, everything's kind of going our way as it stands with higher investments. Hopefully, obviously we get into Dan James. Hopefully he'll sign a new contract. Just all the concrete stuff that's coming our way. And then of course the Dublin and AC Milan game as well. Or Leeds and AC Milan in Dublin.
Yeah. 100%. We should have a load of signings in the door before then. Mark is here. He says, I believe signings will take us by surprise. The media seem to know what we want. Yeah, exactly. And I think they will, Mark. And I think a little bit kind of like Bogle as well. Sure, it was Chris Wilder to tell us that Jayden Bogle was coming to Leeds. And I think that's how airtight the 49ers are. And to be honest, lads, I'd rather it this way from newly into the content sphere and our first year in the summer kind of off-season mode to try and find our feet in it. It's a bit of a nightmare because you're constantly just working on the loosest sort of rumours and agent rumours and clubs trying to drum up and get stuff moving and stuff like that. It can be a nightmare, but I would really rather the club moving like this than you keeping it airtight, nice and quick, comes out, bid is submitted and accepted and it's done and dusted. And it could really be that quick with the 49ers. Obviously, I think the window closes, doesn't it, from 12 o'clock tonight for 6 days. I was watching Jerry Lynch from the Views video today. It closes for 6 days and then it reopens again. Some crazy rule. And but then obviously with the PSR thing and then as well to be kind of officially signed someone till the 1st of July. So we'll see how this one kind of affects us, Dylan. But exciting, isn't it, to actually hear that we've eventually submitted a bid for someone and it feels like the ball is starting to roll now in the transfer window.
Yeah, look, we're a sleeping giant, as I keep saying, and I'm delighted to hear that there is players coming in. And to be fair, I have to agree with you. I like the fact that the 49ers just, hush, and then it gets done. I've their back end straight away, if I'm being honest with you. I think everything that they've done since they came in, they've done it right. Few little errors here or there, for example, not signing someone in January. Obviously now, because we're up, it doesn't really make a difference because now we can invest that money to it. Potentially a better high quality player than we probably would have got back in January. But yeah, they got us across the line. So yeah, I'm not really worried, to be fair. I'm actually just delighted to hear that there's loads of noise coming our way. Every time I go onto Twitter, it's the first thing, don't get me wrong, as you said in previous videos, everyone in their nannies is going to be linked with Leeds now. Yeah. It's only a matter of time until something is concrete, and obviously we have to wait till the 1st of July because of that PSR rule. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, if I'm being honest, but I kind of want Leeds back. And as I said in previous videos, I want I want it done as quick as possible for pre-season. No late signings, no nothing. You want the lads in nice and early, get them ready for this, what is potentially going to be a very hard season for Leeds.
Danny says there, Diarra can play centre defensive midfielder, centre mid, and attacking
Yeah.
midfielder, which is really, really good options. And I think that's what we have in Tanaka there as well. I know he hasn't played that attacking role, but I've seen enough in Tanaka to know he could definitely do a job in that attacking role. So that it's good to see, and it's interesting to see the type of players that we're looking at. Will this accommodate for Leeds United maybe to go to a 4-3-3 with Ampadu in there? Maybe Farke's looking at that, because I think that kind of style of play that we played in the Championship and that open kind of free-flowing football
No,
is not going to work in the Premier League. It's going to be a lot. I think one of
I did
Farke's going
say
to be a
that.
lot more risk averse, but we'll obviously see how he sets up. Because surprised, I think he's going to try a lot in the pre-season games when we obviously play Scum in Sweden. Then we've Villarreal then the week before, and then we've AC Milan then as well. And we'll know then what way his formation is, what he's thinking of going into the season. So it's an interesting one, exciting time.
I'd like for him
We've got the fixture release as well coming soon, the jerseys and all as well. So things are starting moving. It's been a bit of a lull there for the last kind of couple of weeks, isn't it, since the season ended? But feels like now we're starting to kind of get moving, and the eyes on the horizon.
I actually wanted them to change his formation, just going back to that. That's something definitely needs to happen in the Premier League, if I'm being honest. It needs to shaking up. We can't keep relying on the same tactics week in, week out.
In the event we sign another mid, if Ampadu is dropped, who would you give the armband to?
Stroke.
Oh, Jesus, great. I don't know, Dylan.
Stroke. If not Stroke, then Rodon.
I think Rodon's one of the... Yeah, it's a weird one with Rodon, because he reminds me, and some of the older kind of Leeds heads will notice, so a little bit like Rudy Austin, good player, but I think the armband could affect Rodon. I like Rodon the way he can just go and do his job and just play his game and doesn't kind of have to worry about anyone else. I think Ampadu has that, where he's well able to kind of structure things. That's why I do think Ampadu is 100% for me. He should be the captain, but it's a really, really good point. Yeah, it would probably be Stroke after that. I see a little bit further down there, Michael is saying, I've got a feeling we'll offload Gruev and Stroke. I do too. I think Gruev is one of them that I pinpoint. That'll be one that will go out the door. I really do. I've nothing behind it, but I just have a feeling we could see Gruev being moved on. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Strike as well. I really wouldn't, Dylan. I wouldn't be surprised a suitor from Europe coming in from him and Strike being moved on. It would be sad, because he's been a big part of Leeds United for the last couple of years, but it's one of them you look at, and if it did happen, it wouldn't really kind of catch you by surprise, would it?
It wouldn't, to be fair, because he's been here for such a long time. Maybe he just want to play football somewhere else. But for me, that would be a hard one to let go, because considering you could say Bamford, Melier, and Stroke were part of the Marcelo Bielsa's champion team. So we're kind of fizzling everyone out. Everyone's kind of clearing out. But the only thing that kind of puts a downer on Stroke is that he kind of has this injury-prone thing.
Yeah.
Every season, and it's always the same month.
Yeah.
So, look, as long as they replace him with, if not the same, but better, if that makes sense.
Need it.
I need to get out of this kind of mentality where I need
you
to
like
stop
Gruev though, don't you? You're one of them. You like Gruev, don't you?
No, I like Gruev, lads. Yeah, no, I don't love him. No, when did I say I love him? See, now you're winding me up now. No, you're winding me up.
Have it in the video.
Will you play the video? I love Gruev.
You told me you'd rather Gruev over Ampadu. Sean
Healy,
Healy and Danny here. You said you'd
in
rather
midfield.
Gruev over.
I rather Ampadu in centre half, if I'm being honest.
Well, go on, make your point, because we'll end up having a row again.
No, Ampadu just slows the ball down too much. Why are you even talking about this? We're champions.
Go on.
Why are you winding me up?
Finish your point.
No, you're winding me up. Well, that's how
Stephen Bourne said he's their captain as well at 21, so must have something about him in terms of leadership and maturity. I didn't know he was captain, but that's brilliant to see at 21 years of age. Not bad, Dylan. That's really, really good. And like what Stephen says, leadership and maturity qualities there at 21 years of age. Very good. We didn't know about Rotwell until he was in the door. Exactly, Danny. Yeah, exactly. I know we're sick of saying about the 49ers work in silence. Mr. Whitesnake is here. Steve says, so this is what you lock it up to in your evenings. This is what we get up to, pal. You obviously see it. It must be your AM now, is it? Yeah, AM. Morning, Steve. Love to see that. Moving on a little bit. Stephen Bourne says here, Ampadu ain't getting dropped. I don't think so. Farke loves him too much. You'll definitely see Ampadu starting that first game of the season, 100%. And Clem is here. Good afternoon, good evening from Monroe, New Hampshire. Brilliant. Happy days, Clem. Thanks for popping in, buddy. That's class to see. Goal involvements, Firpo 14, Solomon 23. That's 35 GNA. We have to replace. Oh, and we are moving up to a tougher league. We've got some work to do. Yeah, 100%, Michael. We do have some work to do. A full support in the 49ers. I do think we will do it, but as you said, there's still a lot of work to be done. He's not taking it. No chance. Definitely not. He's not taking it off Ampadu. No way. He looks too much. 37. Poor Matt's. No, that was good. Still good. Still a great stat. Cheers for that. Next one we heard about today. Well, it's been kind of rumbling on for a couple of days. 2 days ago, we said that personal terms were agreed with Jaka Bijol. Then they were squashed, and then it came out today again, reported by Joe Donoghue and Graham Smith from the YEP that Leeds United have submitted a bid for Jaka Bijol. AC Milan are still a little bit interested. So for me, this is one of them that still feels a little bit of a way away, but it obviously is one of them that's a little bit more concrete with the two lads from the YEP reporting it. Had a good look into him, spoke to it as well about Jerry Lynch, which we know is the voice of reason, is what Mr. Whitesnake's Bites call him. Really likes him, really strong centre half, very similar to Joe Rodon. So we'll have two solid centre halves there. I think even if Strike is going to stay, we do need another centre half covering that as well. 26 years of age, so great age. Plenty of
Great age.
Slovenian international and plays for Udinese as well. But I said there is suitors. He's had his say as well about his own future, sees his own future away from Udinese. Thanks him for everything to do. But what do you think of this one, Dylan? You've done a little bit of digging into him as well today. Happy with this one?
Considering if Stroke does go, it'll be a good signing to replace him. But then I agree with what you're saying. We kind of need still someone in that centre half position just for that cover, because we all know what injuries are like, especially in this league. And just being a Leeds fan, you kind of know in the back of your head. But he's standing at 6'3". He seems to be very simple on the ball, liable physically and dominant defender. But he can certainly, in fact, play with the ball. He's one of Europe's most aerial, dominant and aggressive centre-backs, a strength which naturally gives him a set-piece threat too, which we all could agree could be better on Leeds' behalf. From corners to free kicks haven't been great, have they, in the last 20 years?
Yep. Move on here. Quirky says, to be fair, Gruev, seen him crying after losing the playoff shows that he really cares, but we can't be Sentiment FC. Sorry, Gruev, but we need better to survive. I think so as well. But I don't think... I'm one of them. It depends on what type of football that you like. There's a lot of people that like Gruev and want Gruev to stay because he's that kind of back against the wall type of player, workhorse, will win the ball back for you, pass it simple. For me, I kind of like that kind of more kind of silky kind of midfielder, the Tanaka kind of style midfielders. Diarra seems to have that as well, so that's my type of midfielder that I like. But I don't think Gruev's a bad player. I just think we need better for the Premier League. Danny says Jaka Bijol has only played in a back four for Slovenia. He plays as a back three for Udinese. Yeah, I've seen that as well, Danny. I've seen that as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Farke lines him up. Thoughts on getting Angel Gomez on a free? I actually didn't even see that as that doing around as well. I'm trying to have a good look in today to see kind of what was around in the ether as well, but I haven't seen much, especially not an incredible Devon. So let us know where that came from, buddy. Not bad. We'll obviously have to have a look at it. Mr. Whitesnake says, remember, statistics are tools, not rules. They tell a story that are there to learn from. Exactly. And it's Premier League as well, isn't it, Steve? It's a big step up. It's a total difference from the Italian league as well. So yeah, totally agree with you. He's already signed for Marseille. Didn't even see that, Danny. Didn't even see that. Milan or Leeds, I know where he's going. Definitely going to Leeds. Lovely Yorkshire weather. Elland back is in the building. He says, "Hey up, lads. Hey up, pal. Hope you're keeping well, brother. Thanks for popping in." Another one I want to move on to and speak about, and this one is an outgoing one that's going the other way, and let us know your thoughts in the chat as always, guys. Max Wöber has had his say with an Austrian outlet. Krone is the way you say it, and he has said in that interview that Leeds United have already made it clear to him that they want to sell him and that he doesn't want to rot away in England. For me, Dylan, yeah, there's your taxi fare and get out the door. Even last season, he was back here. Two knee injuries, was injured for a lot of the season. I remember him being very poor against Middlesbrough in the Cup. He was very poor against Hull away when Melier made them 2 howlers. He's one of them players you look back on, Dylan, and just his time at Leeds United it was bad, wasn't it?
I remember watching him in the World Cup. Sorry, before I just get into that, me and you were actually out having a pint. You and I was looking at him, and he was playing centre half, and I was saying to himself, "This fella's playing in the World Cup for his country. Can't even kick a ball, as far as I can see. How is he playing for Leeds United? Truly,
Yeah.
look, you have to give him his flowers, lads. He came back. He did come back, all right, and he's still part of that. winning
That's
side.
saying, sorry for coming over, that's saying give him his flower seems to be everywhere nowadays, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Who even
literally.
started that? Who even, like, mad say it?
Oh.
Had to give him his flowers.
Well,
Sorry,
look,
go on.
he did. He came back. He didn't do a whole lot, but he was here. He was part, whether in the dressing room, whether it was on the pitch, or whether it was on the training ground. He was still here. I don't want him to be here, if I'm being honest with you. Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is, but I don't rate him as a player. I think he's very clumsy. At times, I think he's just, I don't know.
I think
kind
for
of
the
just
centre half position, Dylan,
running
to be
around.
in the Championship in the Premier League, he hasn't got a lot of pace to be a centre half, and
No.
you need a little bit of pace to be in there.
No.
Then we've obviously seen him playing more full back this year to cover when Firpo's been out and Boyram hasn't been at it. He's came into that left back position and done a job. I wouldn't say done a job, but kind of filled the kind of the boots in there. So you struggle to see if he can't get into this Leeds United team in the Championship. You struggle to see where he's going to get any minutes in the Premier League. So it always felt like one of them, Dylan, that he was just going to come here, do his year in Leeds, and then obviously push for the move then next season.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, you kind of want to win the fans over as well. That's what I would like to do, regardless of how much money I'll be on in a week. You
Yeah.
still kind of want to give your full potential and show what you're worth. And he's here saying that he doesn't want to roll away in England. Well, then why didn't he make more of an impact?
Yeah.
Simple as, like.
Well, he was saying he made an impact the other night for Austria, so each to their own.
Fair play,
Stephen
bud.
Bourne says, Bijol, he's a beast in the air, and when we need that big time this season, both defensively and attacking, better rumours are resurfacing again. They're going to keep doing that, buddy, aren't they? They're going to keep resurfacing. Any news on packs out? Nothing yet, buddy. Again, nothing credible, just the usual. Myself and Dylan have obviously, we've had our say like on the whole transfer thing. We decided not to get rid of just rumours going. It's reported by, the Daily Mail, reported by Team Talk. We're not going to touch any of that anymore. We're going to wait till the actual credible journalists like your Graham Smiths, Joe Donohue's, anyone that's credible, says that Leeds submitted a bid or Leeds have signed, then we'll come on and have a chat about it with you guys. But I think everyone else in between, I think everyone's head is wrecked with the transfer news. So we've trying to kind of keep away from all the kind of rumour mill stuff for the time being. Get him out should have went the season ago 100%. Yeah, 100%. Glad to see Wöber gone. This is probably the start of it, Dylan. We've spoke about it a couple of weeks ago about that. We'll probably see a lot more movement with Leeds going the other way, going out the door rather than coming in first. And that's the way the 49ers have seen to done it. We've seen it at the start of last season as well, when obviously we've seen Archie go, we've seen Cree go, we've seen Rutter go. A lot of them players went out the door before we really start seeing incomings, and I believe that's what way we're going to do it again. And you'll see a lot of these players being offloaded. Your Harrison could be in there all out the door before Leeds United really start kind of making a move. What way do you see it?
Yeah, as you said, it was something that we did talk about, and I didn't really kind of think of it that the last time that we talked about it. But yeah, I think for PSR reasons, that kind of needs to be the right thing to do. And apart from that as well, just getting all the negativity and I keep forgetting I'm on there. I was going to say something there, kind of just very, yeah. But yeah, just the likes of Harrison and all, etc. The look, there's the door. See you later. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Clown.
Ellen Back says rumours of Jack Harrison going to Rangers just a top, but what about a swap plus cash deal for Nicholas Raskin? And that's a name that's popped up a few times, hasn't it, Raskin? And I've obviously seen him. Myself and Dylan are obviously Irish. We were Celtic fans and that as well, so we watch a good bit of the Scottish League as well, and I watch a good bit of Rangers. And Raskin is a player that I do like. He's a good player, and I do think he's probably a level above. I've seen him in Europe as well for Rangers as well. Really, really good player, Dylan, isn't he? So I wouldn't be opposed to that. Again, the question mark's going to be there. Ellen Back, can he do it in the Premier League? It's the question mark that it's always going to have to be asked, Dylan, isn't it? But yeah, good player, not a bad shit.
It's kind of a stepping stone. Like, you look at Virgil van Dijk when he played for Celtic, in my eyes now probably one of the best centre backs in the world.
Yeah.
That's like as
some gems
now.
come through there, yeah.
So from the Scottish League. So maybe, it's a stepping stone. So whether they come up to the Premier League or whether it is the Championship to get a bit more of an eye for it, if that makes sense. But yeah, like, I wouldn't be opposed to it either. I think any business that the 49ers do is going to be for our best interest. And to be honest with you, certain players like we named there, Max Wöber, Jack Harrison, I won't name anymore, will clearly be better with
Yeah.
the players that we get in than what we have.
Yeah, 100% agree. Please make sure you're slapping a like on the video, guys. Really helps out. Really helps us push it out there and get it out to everyone else. Going into a couple of more. The comments in before we got to one that I'm absolutely delighted to hear about. Michael Pollard says here, Wöber, when your heart isn't in it, it's a lost cause. Rodon, I guarantee you, would have played several games for us, injured and knackered Warrior. 100%. The amount of times he put his body on the line for Leeds United this season, and to not get injured and play every game, a Warrior. And I've said it, he was my player of the season, because I think if Leeds United hadn't missed him for any period of time this season, I think we would have been absolutely snookered. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
That was always every match that we were watching. I remember looking at you going, if he gets injured. Well,
it was even the time about the cards, Dylan. Do you remember he went, I think it was after Sunderland, and he went something like 8 or 9 games where if he got
the yellow
he
card,
was going to get suspended, and he did fantastically well. Joe Rodon.
I love Rodon.
Especially his type of game, the way that he plays as well.
And I think as well, from the noise, sorry, just come back to that, at the start of the season when we had him on loan, he was immense. Jesus Christ, he was unbelievable. Then the start of the season, just gone, he was a bit wishy-washy. There was, ups and downs, you could say. Didn't show his full potential to what Rodon we seen from the following year. Then out of nowhere, then he just pulled the socks up and got on with it. Then as you said there, putting his body on the line, week in, week out for Leeds. His tackles. And you know what I love about him as well, Darren? When the ball is freed up and he has that space to go into, he's gone. Doesn't even think twice. And no one can get the ball at him. I love Rodon. I rate him really highly.
Have we been linked to any set piece specialist for Bijol to get on the end of Hamer? Yeah, just being Hamer, but he hasn't. Yeah, knowing that we've actually been linked to yet, that you could say is set piece specialist, and something Leeds United need. I don't think a pure specialist, but just someone that can stick the ball in the box. Well, you'll probably see this weekend's White's wake up. Dylan, we might be in there, an old set piece specialist. What do you think?
I'd say so, lad. Yeah, it could be a call up, all right. If me is hold up.
Yeah. We have this week's Bros Boots Challenge recorded and ready to go for this Saturday, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that one as well. It's going to be a good one this weekend as well. Really funny one. It's a lot better than the Beelzebub one, which was a very hard challenge to start off with. Yeah, so keep your eyes out for that one on Saturday. Mr. Whitesnake says, clear the decks and reset the chairs. Absolutely, yeah. I'm a fan of that.
The man has a way of words, doesn't he?
Out with the old, in with the new. Perfect. Jam says, just tuning in at half time of the Wales game. You might as well just stay here, buddy. You might as well stay here. They're getting absolutely thumped. Shane Kavanagh says nobody from Rangers would improve us. I think Raskin would, buddy. I think Raskin would be a good option. He'd be my one. Jam not going well for Wales, is it? No, not going well. 3-1, I think it is still. Don't forget to plug the wash up. I mean the wake up. Yeah, Mr. Whitesnake was calling it the Leeds wash up, but yeah, it is the Leeds wake up. Saturday morning show that we've started here on Only Leeds Bros. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. DV4 says, evening lads, evening Paul, thanks for popping in. Bijol gives us an option as well. He's not the quickest, but he's a unit, which is if we play 3 at the back, he would be the anchor. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we need a bit of muscle in there, I think, for me with Rodon. Yeah, I'm watching the Paul, definitely is. What else have we got here? 40 million for a Diallo. Yeah, no, not for me. Lastly, what I have to speak about, and it's obviously on a bit of a lighter heart moment, and I know Stephen Bourne will be absolutely delighted to hear about this one, is that Leeds United are in contract talks dealing with Dan James. How good is that to hear? Only 12 months remaining on his contract. Club looking like they want to nail him down longer term going into the Premier League. It's good news, and he deserves it, doesn't he?
I'm absolutely delighted, Darren. Just thinking back to when Bielsa wanted him when he was at Swansea, then he went to Scum, realised, I hate this club. This club is just pure shit show. Yeah. I'm getting out here and I'm going to the one club that wanted me. Let's be honest, we wanted him. And I just, oh my God. For me, I said at the end of the season, Todd James, for me, was the player of the season. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. I think, he proved to everyone, including myself, including to you, Darren, he's not just a pacey winger. He can score. Yeah. And he can score well. Yeah. He scored some dingers. dingers, and I can't wait to see him in the Premier League. I really can't. And I think, regardless of the win,
He feels more mature this time, Dylan, doesn't he? Obviously under Bielsa, he obviously got his move from Scum to us and all, which was, we should have signed him years before that, but he came in and it felt like he was still a kind of very young lad, very early on in his career, and as well playing out of position as well under Bielsa as well. That style of play just doesn't really suit him, doesn't it? So Daniel Farke has 100% got the best out of him as well, Dylan, hasn't he? So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League next season. His end product for me is what needed improvement, and he's improved that massively this year.
yeah,
Can he
definitely.
step it up again in the Premier League again? That's the question, isn't it?
I think he can, Darren. I really can. I think we're only seeing the start with DJ. You know, clip me up all you want, lads. I think he deserves it as well. And then what just keeps going off in my head, no matter who the wingers are next season, Nando, Ramazani, if we do get Solomon, if Jack Harrison stays, one of them, maybe Solomon, none of them is getting ahead of him. None.
Yeah.
So that's
Back says, if the rumours are true, Jeff Tanganga has a 1.6 million sell-on clause. Leeds should try snap him up. He's great in the air and can also play wing-back. Yeah, can cover two positions. Seeing that one as well, nothing credible behind it. Yeah, but that obviously is the sell-on clause as well. It'd be interesting to see Leeds United do look at that as well, buddy, because Farke likes that style of player, doesn't he? That can cover two positions, yeah. So good shout on that one. Then you're forgetting my cut. Rusty Teen Khan says, Bielsa wanted Dan James so bad. That tells you something, yeah. And it's very, very rare Bielsa gets players wrong. DV4 LUFC says, reckon Harrison gets a run in pre-season. I hope not, buddy. I hope not. And that probably sounds bad. I don't know if it does sound bad, but I don't want to see him back in a Leeds shirt. I don't even want to see him back in a Leeds kit, to be honest with you, buddy. I think we should just be
I think we have to, Darren. Look, I agree. But I think if he does stay, which will be an awful kick in the teeth for me personally, because I'm not dissing anyone, but like his mother, for example, you know, this is a ground professional athlete, and coming out and saying my son basically doesn't want to play for Leeds and kicking up a big fuss about it.
Yeah.
You know, show some sort of professionalism. And then what he said on Everton TV, that he wanted to be back there next season. Look what happened, mate. Everton don't want you now. So what, you're gonna come crawling back to us? We're not a charity. We are not a charity. I don't even know why that fella's name came up.
Will you tell us how you really feel, will you?
I'd love to punch his head in.
Yeah, we're up now, be nice. Ellen back has a really, really good question here, and we put this to you, Dylan. We put this to the chat. 15 million for Dan James, yes or no? Great question.
Not even 100 million, nah.
Come on, realistically.
15 million, no, definitely not.
I wouldn't for 15.
No. We're not even talking about it. No.
It's conversation there.
No conversation to be had. That man is staying.
Everyone has their price. Everyone has their price. Stephen Bourne says, it's amazing news, lads, about James. He deserves his new contract. The last two seasons he's been absolutely class. Ran himself into the ground. Can't wait to see him in the Prem. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm delighted to get that he's got the contract there, renewal. Dan James is the model professional. Gives 110% every time. Might not have had the best game for Leeds, but always tries 100%. And I always remember the one Bristol away, horrendous game. He was only had to come back from injury. He was way off it. His touch was off it. But he tried and tried and tried. And that's what you want. Even on your off days, you don't shy away. You still want the ball. So, yeah, very good. He didn't sign Aronson, did he? Who, Bielsa? No, that was Marsh. It was under Marsh, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Marsh, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely under Marsh. You know my thoughts on DJ, lads. He's really improved massively this year. He deserves his shot at this. Pressure creates diamonds. Yeah, really, really good. He's maturing as well. Maturity is a massive thing as well.
I like that actually, John. Fair play.
Yeah. Harrison will get a run in pre-season with the Warballs. Very good, very good. Harrison is contracted at 2028, yeah, and I seen if Jack Harrison stays, his wages will be 90 grand a week, and I'll make him the top earner at the club, which equates to somewhere, if my maths is quick off the top of my head, 5 million. About 5 million a year.
Bye-bye.
Definitely not. Definitely not. But he's not prem proven. Get rid. Who's this now? Is he talking about Harrison? Oh, Aronson, is it? Stephen Bourne says, no, 15 million, not a chance. I wouldn't for 15, but I would for 15.5, yeah. And a Twix. If Harrison comes back, then no one wants him. We consider Dan James. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Harrison. Like, I don't want them back anywhere. I hope Farke doesn't even entertain it. And not selling James for 15 million, big step backwards, 100%. And it's another gap to fill as well, isn't it? You're not getting anywhere near.
Well, I'm with Mr. Whitesnake. I'm with that. That's like a very slim chance of considering.
Yeah, 100%. Dylan, I agree with you. Yeah, Dylan. So that's it for all the transfer news, gossip, and all around Elland Road. You want anything else you want to bring to the table? Anything else you want to chat about?
No, lads. It's one thing. I fell out of a van earlier on. Honestly, just gonna be straight. The first thing I done.
Is that because of the legs after the challenge yesterday? Are you a little bit sore, a little bit wobbly?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, to be fair, I'm not even gonna lie. And the lad that I work with, Tony, if you are watching, just went to the ground on his hands and he was laughing at me. He broke myself up, lads. Honestly, I thought I was gone. My life did flash before my eyes. I'm not gonna lie.
So if I was there, I definitely would have helped you up. I would have just wet myself laughing at you 100%.
Yeah.
Where we were now. Robson says, smash a like for the lads, MOT. Please do that.
Appreciate
Cheers for
it.
that, Robson. Yeah, definitely don't say that enough about smashing likes and subscribes and all that. Trying is great, but not enough where it's gone. But it's always good. I always like the effort there. Harrison in the squad for the first game of the season. Clip it up. Hope not, buddy. Really, really hope not. Definitely not. And Danny says, did not. Indians were in a van. Yeah, love that. Mr. Whitesnake said, have a great night, people. You too, buddy, or morning. I think it's morning time where you are. Who will win this week's challenge? Yeah, interesting one. As I said, myself and Dylan did record this week's Only Leeds Bros Boots challenge, getting tongue tied here. And with some crack, this is going to be a good one, lads. You're really, really going to enjoy it. Very competitive one. The quality came up this week as well, Dylan, didn't he? It was very, very good. We had a couple of spectators out watching us as well, clapping us and cheering us on. So it's going to be a good one, yeah. So if you haven't heard, myself and Dylan have started a new Saturday morning show. The Whites wake up, very sort of soccer AM, league around sort of vibes with a very, very heavy Only Leeds Bros and Leeds United twist on it. Got really, really good feedback on it. Really good feedback. We really enjoyed doing it. So that's going to come the flagship, I think, of Only Leeds Bros, and then we'll fill in the week then with stuff like this, live streams and shorts and videos and stuff like that. But yeah, again, it's just to thank everyone. We're approaching that 3K mark, Dylan, which is just sensational, isn't it? For not even being a year at this game, the support we've got is just second to none, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. It came out of my shell as well, to be fair. So, met lovely people along the way, friends for life sort of narrative. And then just, get the occasional message, love what you do, And I'm a firm believer if I'm helping someone that's down or, just having a bad day, I just love watching stuff. That kind of makes me feel good as well. So, appreciate everyone that's watching.
Yeah, class, yeah. Love to hear it. So that's it from Only Leeds Bros. That's it from Leeds. Latest I said, we're going to make this a regular Monday thing, 8:15. Be here, be square. A few bits as well coming up as well this week. We'll have a video out on Wednesday, a couple of shorts through the week. We'll be back again for a live on Friday night. And then, of course, your Whites Wake Up will be back again this Saturday. So loads going on Only Leeds Bros to keep you entertained. Different sort of stuff that we're trying to bring you guys, because we've got a lot of feedback about the transfer stuff. So bring you guys something a little bit different to kind of get your heads away from the transfer stuff and that. So and it's got good feedback. So again, thanks very much to everyone. If everyone could sub to me as well, I hit 200. Yeah, head across and sub there to Danny as well. Great guy. Go and check out his content there as well. Class show, lads. Smash the likes and subscribe. Get the bros up to 3K. So deserved. Cheers. Thanks very much for that, lads. Yeah, really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. Yeah, love it, lads. Thanks for cheering me up at half time. Through thick and thin, buddy, you have to stick with it. Lovely words, Dillo. Yeah, class. So that's it. We'll love yous and leave yous. Have a great rest of your evening. Mind yourselves, mind each other, and we'll chat yous all again soon.